So, seeing as editing my next regular video was taking longer than I expected, and that I wanted to get something out this week, I figured I could do my 1-year update on my Learn to Draw challenge. After all, I did just recently pass the sort of 1-year mark. So this video was coming one way or the other. So yeah, I've managed to be mostly consistent with this since I began. It's really been more than a calendar year since then, due to having too many things to do and not enough time. Things became more like drawing 5 days a week instead of every single day. But I wanted to wait till I'd passed 365 total days of drawing before I consider it a full year. So here we are. The last update I made was on day 100, so there's a fair bit of new stuff to go through. And to be honest, I don't remember all of it off the top of my head. So I'm excited to look back at it myself. Overall, I am happy to have started this challenge, and, while I'm not sure I'll specifically keep up the draw for 10 or so minutes every day thing, I very much intend to keep drawing. But we'll talk a little more about that later. And now that that's out of the way, let's move the camera and look at the products of my self-imposed challenge. So here we are, the same sketchbook that I've been using since the start, a little more beat up than it was a year plus ago, and I've nearly finished it. I think I maybe have a dozen pages left, maybe a little less, but anyway, let us get right into it. No sense in wasting any time here. So that was from the previous video, day 99, day 100. I'm going to come back to this at some point later on, because this was my first attempt at an original character. And there will be a few more later on, and then some updates regarding those characters. But I'll get there when we get there. So I definitely made a bunch of progress by this point. Still a lot of things left to be desired, like things with the hair, just in general, everything needs work on, but it was definitely getting somewhere from before, and I had started to work out or try to use color a little bit, mess around with that, just with pencils so far, because that's really all I have access to at the moment. And yes, I really don't remember a whole lot about what I did after this, because it's so long ago at this point, and I've done quite a bit of drawing. So we'll get to revisit this and see what I think of what I've done since day 100. So I guess day 101 I didn't do too much, just some hand practice. I think I used some tutorials online to try and do some very specific models here. So that was probably a bare minimum drawing time day. And then we'll move on here. I'm using these paper towels to just keep any color from bleeding over to the other pages, since I am trying to use both sides of the page to be, I won't say environmentally conscious, but at least efficient in terms of my paper use. So, again, I apologize for the lighting here. The lighting in my room is still terrible. I'll keep it even, at least, with my shadow over everything at this point. Will it look better without the shadow? Not really. So, best girl from Azerlane in Cleveland. Also, this is based on, using obviously a close reference. I think it was a screenshot from the anime. And I'm pretty happy with how it came out. Particularly with the clothes. I might mention this in the last video, but I felt like, for some reason, clothes I've had a pretty good time, or done pretty well at drawing for some reason compared to other things. I don't know. I don't want to take too long on each thing, since there's 200 days worth of stuff, and I don't want this video to be half an hour long, both for my sake and for your sake. So another day of just very dedicated hand practice. Spoiler alert, I still haven't gotten that great at hand, so I have gotten better. And then over here, so this took 2 days. You can see, like I've been doing with previous drawings, if I'm spending more than 1 day on something, then I will basically just write it down on here to keep track. So this took 2 days. This is a Shirobako character, which I was watching right around here, which will also be relevant, I guess, later on too. This is actually, I think, one of my best drawings. Obviously it's, directly referenced by a screenshot from the anime, but comparing it to the original, it actually came out pretty darn close, considering what colors I had access to and all of that. So I really like this one a lot, actually. I won't say this is where I peaked, because that was a long time ago now, but it is still one of my favorite things I've drawn up to this point. So, since I actually mentioned Shirobako, there was something I noticed when I was watching it, about how the director of the anime in that, this is just some more hand practice, some more just body model practice, I think. some very small stuff in these couple days. I was trying to figure out. Well, I was noticing that the director in that show, who clearly wasn't an artist himself, was drawing the storyboards for the anime. And so I had the idea based on that. My shadow's off again. Based on that, I had thought of suggesting to my artist for my own manga project, which is currently well behind schedule for reasons outside of both my control and his control. He also does some more body model stuff. I thought about suggesting that I could try and draw, rough storyboards for the remaining chapters that we haven't finished yet, to try and save him some time, so we could basically go from, my limited reference instead of having a completely blank page to start from. And so he said that it would definitely help, and he actually told me, which I didn't know before, that apparently it's common to do that in Japan in general for manga, where they call them name sketches, where the author, if they aren't the artist, will still draw storyboards for the manga and then give it to the actual artist to help smooth the process along. So I've done that. It's part of why some of the drawing days I think were a little bit less than 10 minutes a day, because I was spending time doing all of those. I think I did like 60 or 70 of those sketches, which I'm not going to show here because they're very, very rough. Mostly just to give a basic outline of how the page might look. Obviously, a lot will probably change because my artist is better than me. This is a fun one. This is day 111. I was at a convention today. Thank you, Pastel, for writing this down so I remember. And this is basically me attempting just face sketches of the various alien characters from my manga that's coming out. I hope this summer. My artist said he was hoping to get it done, the rest of it done by June or so. We'll see. I know things a little bit tentative over in his neck of the woods now too, also related to the war going on, so I don't want to speak too soon on giving an estimate date, but these actually came out pretty nicely. Obviously, I had my concept art character sheets from him to reference for these, and it was, I guess, a slow day at the convention, so I had a decent amount of time to spend on drawing. Can I bring these up to closer to the camera to see better? To draw them, all 6 of them, and I'm pretty happy with these, actually. And yes, 2 of them, if you haven't seen the trailers or anything, 2 of them are twins. That's why they basically look almost identical, but not quite. So, here's some more Girls and Panzer for the channel theme. Kay is always fun to try and draw. I really have to draw her more often. I haven't done that in a while. So, both of these actually were quick sketches, obviously, again, using references from either character sheets from I found online or from screenshots from the show. And, Freerin. Yeah, this might have been around, I forget the date on here. I surely should probably date some of these, actually, instead of just putting day numbers. This is probably around when I first started watching Freerin when it was coming out, Season 1, which is how you know this is over a year ago now. And, alright, this we drew on stream. I remember this now. I did a drawing stream where I drew Yukari bust and I drew Wide Yuzu, which I should probably try to find a way to make this into a meme or something like that, because I think it has potential for that. So again, I defaulted for a long time for when I had limited time one day where I knew I couldn't go beyond 10 minutes at all, or even a little less than 10 minutes, to just try drawing hands using, again, tutorials online, because they're hard and they're still hard. So here's another, which I knew how to zoom in with the camera from the app or whatever, but anyway, another one of my characters from Amaranth Angels, one of the alien girls again. Let me move this down so you can see it better. Offline again. So I'm getting a little bit better at the hair here. I still have a ways to go. I do get a lot better at drawing the hair of characters overall, but so yeah, more of the same. I was trying to do the same character for a few days in a row in order to let's get shadow on it. In order to just not have to think about different design stuff on a day-to-day basis, and just know who I'm drawing and just try and draw different angles of her. Like, I'm still not fully limited to straight-on images, but for the most part, I'm stuck with those still, with a few exceptions, which is why I'm trying to move on and get beyond this. This is a very quick sketch Again, another day where I had little time. So hands again. And again, the same cat girl alien. And obviously, and then Mume, I think this is probably must have been around when she was graduating from Hololive. So I tried anyone that I really watched at all when they were leaving. I decided to try and draw some kind of sketch or two of them, since it seemed a nice little tribute, even if I didn't watch a lot of streams. So, yeah, another hand day, another little Mume sketch. Yes, this probably was after the announcement, before she actually left. So here you could see it. Yeah, I need to figure out a way to make this set up a little bit better. I like getting proper lighting for this space. I know I keep saying that and I haven't done it yet. Oh yeah, this was definitely the pre-graduation period. So these some came out pretty nice actually. Some of these, especially this one with the hoodie. Well, I did more than I realized actually. Yeah, it was kind of fun. That was the Halloween outfit version of her that I drew. And then another little just face sketch. So we're getting to day 130 something, another hand day, as has been the case. Little Gura sketch. Also, this might have been around when she announced her graduation too. I know it was a busy year for Hololive fans, and not the best way. This is another Shirobako character, if I remember correctly. It's been so long now, I probably should rewatch that. I should probably make a video on that show again, if I haven't done so already for the channel. It was a lot of fun, and side note, it's the same director as Girls with Panzer. So, if you like Girls with Panzer, and you want to check out the director's other stuff, this is one of his probably better known shows beyond Girls with Panzer, I think. Possibly his best known one. And he sort of cameos in it, in a way. So I've got that. I've got a little logo for the channel that I was kind of toying around with. I haven't settled on one yet. It's in my to-do list. Yeah, another hand day. This is the last Mume one I think I did before she graduated, so I added some color to it. And still trying to get the hang of the hair beyond just, sitting straight down. It's supposed to be the hair moving to the side a little bit, which is tough. But again, I'm very happy with how I drew the outfit here. So this has been the theme for a while now. And another hand day, and then this one actually came out really nice, actually. I actually like this quite a bit, especially the colors on it. Some of the colors are easier to do than others, I think, because I guess based on what pencils I have and also how hard they are to replicate. So this is, I think it was also at a convention. I might have drawn this one, or at least started it at a convention, maybe, and then finished it off at home. So another hand day. This was a 3-day sketch of Narissa from Hololive. I think I saw it. She made a post at one point where it was like, if you draw fan art of me, then you're officially an artist. So I decided, you know what? I guess I'm officially an artist now. But that's one of the more complicated designs, I think, in the company, at least at that point. And so I was like, they're not trying to do too much of it, but kind of happy with how that horn came out, though. So back to Girls and Panzer again. I think this was a stream day again. Yeah, this was definitely a stream where we drew Darjeeling and Hosami. And after that, I just wanted to take it easy, so another hand day, and another one of my manga characters, because I'd like to be able to draw my own fan art at some point, since if no one else will do it yet until I'm better known, it might as well be me. Like it's what was the Thanos meme? Like I'll do it myself. So not at that point yet, but we're getting there. And more of the same character. Oh, here I tried color again. I have another one of the characters, like more of a full body sketch, which I'm pretty happy with. The colors actually match decently well. Still kind of fudged up the hands a bit, but I've drawn a couple of ones like this. Another Azraelane fan art. I always liked Diana Me's character since I watched the anime and then obviously playing the game, so she's was fun to draw. Proportions are a bit off, but that's going to be how it is for a while. So now we have, this one actually came up pretty nicely, a Mika sketch, where you can zoom in a little bit. This might have started on stream. I'm not sure if I started it on stream and then finished it off stream, because I noticed The it was a 6-day one. And I know I was doing a couple streams around this time. I know I can post this at some point because I know people make comments about, and I made comments about the big hat. She needs a big hat to store all her stolen items underneath it, obviously. So more hands. Oh, I have to turn this sideways now. For where is it? For I tried to reference the scene for a sketch of rock paper scissors from Licorice Recoil, which is a very fun little scene, and it was an attempt to try and draw different angles that I've done before, and it came out not terrible, but I still tend to just stay on the same perspective since it's just a little bit easier on me, and like I said, I'm not in a rush in terms of trying to accelerate my drawing abilities since I don't plan to make a career out of this, just for fun. This is a VTuber, fellow is actually an Israeli VTuber, so I've talked to her online a little bit, not a whole lot, but Neven, some of you might have seen her online at some point here. I think she's gotten somewhat bigger lately in terms of audience. I'm definitely bigger than my audience by this point. So I drew that. Over the course, I guess that was 8 days. And then we're back to Girls and Pants again. I might have also posted this on the channel on a community note at some point. I was doing that for a little while. Then I think I forgot and or got lazy. So we've got Irwin there. Another lazy hand day. And here we passed day 200. You see, this is why I put the paper towels on here to save the other side of the paper as best I can when I use a lot of the pencils. So also, I think I might have posted this at some point on a community note on the channel. Again, the hand proportions are definitely off. A few of the proportions are definitely off, but I am happy with how the face came out at least. I like how I did the shading on the hair a little bit, which I've tried occasionally to get a little bit of that done, like to progress on that front, but it's kind of on the back burner right now. Oh, and here, this must have been, I guess, around the summertime, since this is where I got into my new hyperfixation of Umumusame. So this is vodka, again using a reference from one of her basic promotional images. So best girl, don't fight me over that. And so the proportions are still a little bit off, like around the waist area, but I like how the head came out pretty nicely. Again, also a bit of an angle, which I'm still getting the hang of. And I see the pencils are transferring over a little bit. I probably should have just done that between every page. Oh wait, also I forgot, around this time, this is where I finally got myself pens. So I got myself a set of art pens, nothing too fancy, it's maybe like $10, $15 on Amazon. I don't know if I have them handy. Where are they actually? I'll show you what I've been using. Because I realized that when you add, the black pen line art onto the sketches, it makes it look already like 40% more professional, even though it's still very amateur. So these are the ones I got. The brand is Yisan. Again, they weren't very expensive. I've actually mostly only been using, if you can see it on here, they've developed different sizes and types of pen. I've mostly been using these two, the 01 and the 005, because I'm mostly just doing the the outlines of the line art stuff with them. Again, nothing too fancy, but the good thing about the pens is I don't have to worry anymore about transferring over the pencil to the other side. So when I get to more Musume fan art of here's Teo and here's Oguri, which also are coming out pretty nicely, again with the help of the references, but I can see I'm getting a little better at the proportions by this point, which is just over 100 days ago now still. But it already looks like a lot better just because I have the pens to do all the line work here. And Gold Chips, this is probably during Gold Chip week, back when the game was still maybe a month or two old at that point, and these are global. And again, this was another day, another lazy day. A few more days where I was just trying to work on different angles and using some tutorials that I found online. Again, I don't know how easy it is to see without my shadow, if the shadow helps or doesn't help. And let's move on to day 250. So we have about 100 plus days left to go here. This was just, again, more just practice of different angles, like side face, which was still looking like Moon Man a little bit. But then we get to this character here, which when I edit this, I'll put the actual art on screen. So I decided I might have mentioned at some point that I wrote a light novel for a contest that J Novel Club was doing first a year and a half ago, and then also another half year ago or so, where I entered the same story twice. It got to round 2 both times. Didn't get beyond that, which is fine. But I decided to publish it as a web novel. It's not out yet because I'm trying to finish writing volume 2 first to make sure I have enough of a chapter backlog that I could keep it going while I work on future volumes. And volume 2 is turning out to be quite a bit longer than volume 1. But I decided it would be fun to try and draw all of the main characters for it. So that when I give it to my artist to draw the concept art for the characters, the character sheets, and then the cover art, he could use these and not have to use like various references that I find online. You're just Google searching or stuff like that. This was my first attempt at one of the characters. I'll post her character sheet from an actual artist up on the screen so you can see how it came out in comparison. He actually had nice things to say about this. I don't know if it was this one or another version of her that I drew, where he let me know that the proportions were actually pretty good. And he actually overlaid it on his art that he did later to prove to me that it was actually, pretty close. So, there's one character. This is a character from one of my light novels. My Light into Another World series, one of the main female characters from that. So that was kind of a fun drawing to try. Another character from the upcoming web novel. Actually, this is Vizca, this is Arashi. And going back, how far back to here? I said we'd get back to this. So this is the main character of the web novel that I'm going to be putting out. This is Haruna. So I guess I thought about it already back then, but then I decided at this point to draw my own concept art for each of them. And I'll probably be doing that in the future for any future projects apart from what I'm already working on with my artist, because I figure I might as well participate a little bit more in the art process if I can, and it makes his job easier, and it's fun to be able to see a rough version of a character that I've come up with be brought to life properly by an actual professional artist. So again, I'll put on screen the actual concept art of her, and there should be one more character coming up at some point. Oh, that's my first. Yeah, this is my first. This is where I decided I was going to do that with all the characters. This is my first attempt at drawing an anime guy for one of the characters from the web novel. Came out pretty nicely, actually. The proportions are a little bit off. I was trying to do the armor, and so it's harder to visualize how the armor should look, because obviously the armor, when you wear armor, you look bigger than you are if you're just standing there with regular clothes on. But the face came out pretty nicely, and again, you'll see the actual proper concept art alongside on screen. And here's a little bit more concept art I drew for the web novel. Some, I guess, little magic effect, like a little flame magic, a little crystal that shows up at some point in the story, which may or may not be relevant at some point if we do any internal illustrations for it down the line. And some tail images, because, where is she? She actually, I didn't actually draw her tail on this one, but her tail, she could kind of reshape the end of it at will to different shapes, and so I drew a few potential examples of what that might look like at different points in the story, which I probably should actually save this one on my phone so I have that to reference myself. And also again, so this is a few weeks where I got on a kick of drawing stuff related to that story. This is just, hold on, let's get the shadow, you can see better, I think. There's some more magic effect or crystal effect and a little plant. And then I got a little more creative. This is a monster idea that shows up at some point in the first volume. And these are little face sketches I did, a bunch of minor side characters who appear in volume 2 that I'm writing now. And I figured, it would make sense if it would be helpful if I just drew what they basically look like. So when I have to describe them in the book, I have this to look at. And this one I did save already for myself. And then below them we have a fun attempt at drawing landscape, I guess, if you want to call it that. A sort of like mountain monastery type compound, where most of Volume 2 takes place. And there'll be another version of this coming up because I decided to go full on and draw myself a, won't call it a magic school, but it's like a place where people train in magic and in combat and stuff like that. So this will be featured in proper art form on the cover for Volume 2 whenever that's done, which will be probably not for another few months at least, and I still have to finish writing the thing anyway. And then this is a reference for the Volume 1 cover, which is done now. I don't think I'll show it on here. I'm going to at some point do like an announcement for the web novel when I'm ready to start releasing it, at which point I will show off the cover art itself. But this is a destroyed city that I wanted in the background of the Volume 1 cover, so I spent 2 days tossing something together for that. And then we're back to Musume because Cinderella Grey was airing around now, and I got pretty heavily into that. So Dick the Striker was a very fun character. I like her a lot. Tamamo Cross also. I finally got her in the game. Had to go to Pity, by the way. Each of the 3 last character banners I've pulled on that game, I've gone to Pity, which I'm not happy about. The gacha rates leave much to be desired there, as fun as the game is in other respects. So, yeah, my hyperfixation is ongoing. And Suzuka, my best Champions Meet runner to date at this point. We didn't win, unfortunately, in the finals of the Group A that time, but she got like a 55% win rate overall, which is my best I've done on anything so far. And another Uma Major Orion we've got here. And then we're getting... Well, hold on. How fast did we go here? Right, I had a bunch... Realized I had a bunch of drawings that were like long projects. So I had like... not that one. This one was like 4 days. This one was 5 days. So a few of these, I guess, helped me speed along to get to day 300 faster than I realized, because each page is not just one drawing. It's it's not just one day. It's several days worth of work. Yeah, though this was 13 days. It wasn't all 10 minutes each time, but it was like between 5 and 10 minutes, I think, every day that I worked on this sketch. I don't even a sketch at this point, but it's a drawing. The 13 days. This one was 9 days. So, yeah, we're actually going to get to the end faster than I realized because of how long some of these took me. This took me 2 weeks. I was trying to get the hands better. Almost got there, but not quite. It's still very hit or miss. Occasionally it works out, but often not. Another lazy hand day. This, I have no idea what this character is. It's an original idea. I just kind of drew up, as I went along, kind of just came up with a basic concept. I don't know what I'll use her for. But I'll find something at some point. So, but I kind of like how the hair came out here. Kind of like I managed it with the angle a little bit. Oh, that's it already. Yeah, we're already here. So, and then we get to day 365 or so. This was I spent a few weeks on. So I decided to go back to basics, go back to Girls and Panzer, and of course, Anchovy, aka my favorite character. If I had to pick one at gunpoint, which otherwise I wouldn't pick one, but sometimes you have to make a choice. And this is also based on a screenshot, I think, from the OVA I took this from, which is why below the skirt, it kind of just freehanded it, because the screenshot was just like from here up, basically. So, yeah. So I realized, how long have we been selling? Oh, it's been half an hour already. Okay, this is definitely long enough. I don't need to belabor this anymore. But yeah, this is where I've gotten to in about a year of drawing every day. Almost every day. Like I said, it came out to more like 5 days a week over the past, I don't know, maybe 6 months or so. But it's some significant progress. And I'm very happy to continue with it. I also recently bought a course being offered by a pretty successful anime artist online, Ori Days, if you might have heard of him. I'll post a picture of, I guess, their avatar that they use online somewhere on the screen, and I guess I can post a link down below also to the course. I think it's still on sale. I bought it when there was a little bit of a discount on like an early bird thing, because the course has a lot of helpful things in terms of, I guess, approach to art, approach learning how to draw, and also just having a lot of tutorials for specific things in one place will make it a lot easier for me to manage when I want to, focus on learning something new, like learning how to draw hands better. Which actually this hand came out very nicely, gripping the little riding crop over there. But that's when I want to learn one of those things or want to practice more, having it all inside just one course, as opposed to having to then YouTube search or Google search for a different tutorial for a specific thing, should be very helpful going forward. So yeah, actually, let me see how much I have left. This is my scrap papers. So let's see, I have now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more pages, so 12 more sides worth of sketchbook till I finish this one. I do have a second one that I bought, so I'll have another one when this is finished, although I might try my hand a little bit at digital art at some point, because some of the tutorial stuff from that course that I got is a little more geared toward that, but I haven't gotten to that point yet. So for now, I'm still doing this, and like I said, I might not necessarily keep track of days constantly anymore. I will see, because now that I completed a year, thank you again to Pewdiepie for inspiring me to try this from when he did his own Learn to Draw challenge a couple years ago. I wanted to hit a year, and like I said, I'm set at the point now where I'm going to be drawing a little bit, more or less every day, even if I won't be, keeping as close track of it. But I think I will start to try and keep track of dates. So when I start a new project, whether it's small or big, I'll write the date down, and then when I finish it, I write the date down, so I can see how long it took without having to rely on, day 300 whatever to 300 whatever. But yeah, so like I said, I didn't have time to finish all the editing I wanted to do for the next proper video this week. But I wanted to get something out, so I figured to just do this, go through, because I had to do it anyway at some point because we passed that mark. I didn't want to wait too long after I passed the full year point. And yeah, this goes to show, I guess if you go back already to where I was, pre-day 100, and you could see some of these are decent, but a lot of it is very, very amateurish, and just see how far I've been able to come. Yeah, I was another anchovy attempt back then. That was not good at all. So, slow and steady. I'm not, expecting to be anywhere professional anytime soon, because I don't have time for that, frankly, and I am more of a writer than an artist anyway. But you can see how just a little bit of work, every day, or more, or almost every day, could get you pretty far in a relatively short time. And I hope that in future projects, like I mentioned before, I'm going to be able to collaborate with my artist more than just, give him, references to work on, or paragraphs of text to use to draw stuff, and actually, draw the content art myself, give it to him, draw my name sketches for manga panels and stuff like that, or even just concept sketches for internal illustrations for the light novels or for cover art, and just make it a more fun process for us both. And obviously, it's nice to be involved, to be able to see, to take a picture from my mind, put it on paper in a very rough form, and then have him turn it into something, actually nice and actually professional. So that's where my art journey stands right now, along with my million other tasks I try and get done while I'm at work every day, because quiet security jobs allow me to do that for now. So yeah, so that's where we're at, and hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you got something out of it. Again, if you have any intent, any inkling to try drawing yourself, I definitely recommend it. Don't overdo it. Don't burn yourself out. Take a few minutes a day, or even just set aside, 3 days a week that you want to draw for 20 minutes or half an hour or something, because you will get somewhere, and then just practice at that point. So I think I can feel my voice going a little bit. I've been talking for so long. So thank you for watching. I'll try and edit this down a little bit, because half an hour is quite long. I didn't realize we were going for that long. But again, it was 200 plus days of stuff to look at. So that'll be it for now. And a real proper video will be out next week. I guarantee it's already far enough along that it will be done by next Thursday. So, and then hopefully get back to being every 3, if not every 2 weeks of something on the channel, because I kind of feel bad that things have been slow lately. Not because of the war itself, just because of too many things going on that I have to do, and errands and whatever. So that's it, and until next time.